Okay, the Flameweaver is an awesome class within Mandragora that allow you, with this build, to do flame walls or tornadoes. You can set fire to your weapon. You can heal through damage, as you can see here. And by switching weapon, we can completely change our style of play. So, with that all being said, let's jump into it and check out this build. Okay, so you can see here our full talent tree, and it has been slightly cut off, but we have gone along the right hand path here too, as you can see. Now for this build, a lot of things we're focusing on is going to be power, it's going to be strength, it's going to be knowledge. Power will obviously be our spell power. If we come over to the node here, you can see on the right hand side it says weapon damage increase and spell power increase. Now when it comes to strength, that is also going to be our equipment load, meaning we can wear heavier armors. And then for knowledge, that is going to be what helps us. If we come here, there we go, if I actually find the right node that hasn't been used, with our mana pool, meaning we can cast more spells. So at the start of the game, I would recommend taking Fire Mastery. This is what we will start with, and take the right hand side path, picking up the strength, the endurance, the strength, and taking Inner Fire. Casting a fire spell increases the damage of your next 3 weapon attacks by 8%. This pairs really nicely with Flaming Weapon because you can, cast Flaming Weapon, buff your weapon, and then you get another buff on top. Now, after that, come to the left hand side, we're going to take the knowledge, the power for burn. Increase your burn chance by 5% and the duration of your fire effects by 3 seconds. This is awesome because we do want to focus a lot on burn in this build, because burn is going to be damage over time. So the more chance of burn and the longer it lasts, the more damage we're going to pump out. After that, we're going to come north, take the knowledge into the offensive node, and I took strength here just to help with the equipment load. And then we're going to go left for power, for knowledge, and then down for Scorching Shield. Again, a defensive aura that disintegrates incoming projectiles. Each projectile blocked consumes 20 mana. And considering we're using things like Flame Wall and Flame Tornado, our mana is pretty decent, that we can do this pretty often without worrying about losing mana. Now one thing I do want to do is we're going to quickly jump over to the Vanguard tree. And there's 2 reasons for this. We're going to go right for defense, Constitution, 2 really key things for a melee frontliner, Endurance to help with our stamina, into Veteran. So killing an enemy permanently increases your maximum health by 0.01% up to a total of 10%. So as you can see, I have a current bonus of almost 4%. What pairs really nicely with this is the Flameweaver ability that you can heal the damage you've just taken. So now you can increase your mana, your health pool, but you can also heal it back up based on the damage you take. After that, we're going to come north, we're going to take the Constitution, we're going to go to the left for defense, for vigor, defense again, Constitution again, and then south for life but blood surge. So killing an enemy generates 20% of your adrenaline, but most importantly, restores 5% of your missing health. So again, we can now regenerate missing health, we'll eventually be able to heal damage we've just taken, and we can increase our health pool. Now once you've got that locked in, and we are over here on Scorching Shield, we are going to come back to the node here that will allow us to take this path up. And we're going to take knowledge, offensive node. Now you don't need to fill this in for now, just take strength or power. And then we're going left for knowledge, into fire attunement. Restore 2 mana per second for each nearby burning enemy. Really useful. Again, regenerating our mana, we can regenerate our health. We basically can just fully regenerate all of our abilities, helping our survivability. From there, we are going to come into the middle for vigor. To the right for another offensive node, I've just taken strength here. To the right for vigor, into controlled explosion. Every 5th weapon attack triggers an explosion around you that deals 276 fire damage and causes high stagger to nearby enemies. This is incredibly useful in boss fights. After that, back into the middle, we're going north for the defensive node, and we're going to the right. We're going to take strength, vigor, strength, into our critical node, and for now just take a physical critical chance. And then south for strength, endurance, and molten strikes. Converts 50% of your physical weapon damage to fire. After that, we're going to come north. Back to the critical node, north again for strength, into surging energies. So surging energies. Gain surging energies, which grant 1 or 2 bonuses. Landing a weapon attack reduces your mana cost by 15% for 10 seconds, meaning you can cast more spells easily. Casting spell increases your physical critical chance by 10%. More crit chance, reduced mana costs, get those flame tornadoes, those flame walls going, hitting enemies. really just synergizes so well together. From here, you're going to go to the right to take up Constitution, Defense, and then north for Warrior's Might. Each point of Constitution and Defense increases your physical damage dealt by 0.2%, and you can see in total we do have a bonus of 9.2% by this point. After that, we're going to go down for Defense. Now, eventually we will be taking this node as well, but for now, we're going to be coming all the way down, and we're going to take Constitution. We're going to take Defense on the right to gain that bonus, and then we're going to follow the path around to the left. So take Strength, take an offensive node, just put in Strength or Power for now, Strength, Constitution, and Defense, and then eventually taking Fury. So within this center here, the only thing you're not going to be taking is the Vitality node. Now Fury is really cool. Landing 4 weapon attacks within 3 seconds increases your attack speed by 15 seconds. And again, if we land a 5th, we then do an explosion. So again, these two abilities synergize well as well. From there, we're going to come south, take the Constitution, to Constitution again, take the defensive node, take anything here for now, and then we're going to come down for Burning Blood. Your most recent damage taken is dealt to you over 5 seconds instead. Weapon attacks against the attacker reduce the pending damage. So this is what I was talking about, we can now heal through the damage we've taken. So we can heal our missing damage, our missing health. We can now heal through the damage we've taken, and we can increase our health pool, making us a very viable frontliner. At this point, we are going to come back to the top. We've already taken things like surging energies, so from here, from the strength, we're going to go left. Left again from the defensive node, down for defense, around for endurance, and up to Phoenix. Upon receiving fatal damage, you revive an explosion of flame, dealing 900 damage to nearby enemies and healing 50% of your maximum health. There's a 300-second cooldown, so it does take 5 minutes, but this is just incredible because not only do we have that bigger health pool, we can regenerate it through multiple ways. Now even if we do die, we'll revive with an explosion, which is a mass damage dealer. We're also just going to pick up this little defense node on the left for that little bonus to our offensive strikes. After you've got this, we're going back down to the middle here. Left for power again, and one more power into the Vitality node. I've just taken 3 Constitutions here to increase our physical damage dealt thanks to our ability. North for power, and then into Wildfire. Dealing direct fire damage to burning enemies has a 40% chance to spread the burn effect to other nearby enemies. From here, now that we've been able to spread our burn to other people, we're going to come left for knowledge, left again for power, and up into heating up. Each spell and cast increases the damage of your spells by 3% for 8 seconds, stacking up to 5 times. Again, so if you want to throw around a couple of fireballs, you really can, and it's perfect. Now if we just go over these bigger nodes, again, here you can see I put 3 Constitutions. This will give us a 0.6 increase to our physical damage dealt. I believe it's 3.6, or sorry, 0.6, let me just check. Yeah, 0.6, so there you go. It's almost half a percentage extra of damage. In here, we've taken 2 power and a strength, and then that will give us a +1 burn chance. If we come to here, you can see we've taken the critical damage and the physical critical chance. Into the middle here, you can see we've taken 1 Constitution. If you wanted to take out the critical damage here and put it into defense or Constitution here, very viable. Over here, we've got 1 strength, 1 strength, 1 power, 1 power, 1 strength. So as you're going through the game, if you get to higher than level 81, obviously fill these nodes in with your offensive nodes or your defensive nodes, increasing your damage. And over here, you'll see we've got Vigor, Constitution, and Defense with a bonus of a +2 armor. Over here, Strength, Power, Power, +1 burn chance. And finally here, Defense, Constitution, Defense for a +2 armor. So overall, you can see we have 923 health, 220 mana. We have an equipment load percentage of 27, which is pretty damn high. Strength sitting at 25, Power sitting at 31, Defense at 25, and Constitution at 21. With a 34% burn chance. And if you check out our resistances, you can see they're all pretty much within the 30 to 40 range besides physical and bleed. And in our offensive chance, weapon damage of 413 and a spell power of 122 with 51 armor protection. Okay, when it comes to equipment, I'll show you what we're doing. We're using the Scorching Bludgeon, 10% burn chance and a 20% burn chance, and this scales with power and strength. We're pairing this with the Flame Crest for a 12% magic critical chance and a 9% burn chance. So again, you can already see we're stacking that burn chance up. In our second, we're using the Verdant Flame Blade, scales with power and strength as well as a few others, all with equal scaling, and a 9% physical critical chance. For equipment, we're using the Burning Legionnaire's breastplate, 23 armor, 4 strength, 5 power, 5 knowledge, and I've put a rune on this of 8 defense. For Burning Legionnaire's hood, as you can see, 5.5 armor, 7% burn chance and 10% fire damage, and runes of 4 power and 4 knowledge. For your Fireplate gauntlets, 6 armor, 4 defense and 80 health. The Burning Legionnaire's breeches for 12 armor, 4 strength, 4 power, 4 endurance. And a key part of this build is the feathered cloak. Reason being is 20% equipment load and 15% movement speed. That equipment load comes in very helpful. For rings, we're using the Signet of Magic for that 10% fire damage. The Grip of the Garden for that 20% weapon weight, because our weapons are very heavy. Ring of Energy for 20 stamina. And the Ring of Might for a 10% physical damage increase. Other key elements of this build: a Sharpening Stone to increase your weapon physical damage and physical critical chance for 2 minutes. Lesser Venomous Oil, very helpful if you want to put this on your blade. And the Minor Stone Skin Potion, 10% physical resistance for 60 seconds, and these are all very easy to obtain pretty around mid-game. Now, one thing to point out, I've also put a rune on this weapon too that increases your physical damage by 10%. Now if we just check out these runes, I will come into here to show you which ones we are using. So for our weapon, we are using, when I can see it on my list here, the Runestone of Ferocity, the 10% increase. For our armour, we are using the Runestone of Protection for that 8 increase to defense, and the Runestone of the Sage for that 4 power and 4 knowledge. Now when it comes to your abilities, the first thing we are using is Blazing Weapon. This will coat your weapon in flames, adding 40 fire damage for 45 seconds. We've also fully upgraded this, which I'll show you now. So you see we've taken all the upgrades here. So we've taken the upgrade 1. So we've increased the duration by 15 seconds. We've taken upgrade 2. So we now do an additional 48 fire damage to burning enemies. And again, we can spread burn really easily thanks to our skill tree and our abilities. We've taken number 3 to increase our weapon's power scaling by 20%. And number 4, we can cast this without a fire relic being equipped. The other ability we are using with our mace is the Flame Tornado, and again you can see we've taken all 4 upgrades. So base, this will do 226 fire damage per second to enemies. The tornado will turn at the end of its path and come back to us, so it goes up and down. By taking the upgrades, we now deal an additional 56 damage per second because of a burning trail on the ground for 12 seconds. We take an upgrade 2, which will mean that it'll explode when damaging and burning enemy, dealing another 230 damage, which is a pretty hefty amount. We take an upgrade 3, which summons a second tornado behind us, so now if we are being flanked, we can actually hit both enemies. And we take an upgrade 4, the tornado gets bigger over time and deals more damage on its path. Now in our secondary slot with our Greatsword, we have got other abilities, such as we've taken Firebolt. This is the base ability you'll start with, it will deal 436 damage. And we've taken upgrade 1, 2, 3, so it will refresh the existing burn effects on enemies, very, very useful. Firebolt critical strikes always inflict burn, and we increase the cast time of Firebolt by 40%, they increase the damage by 60%, and it will explode upon damage. The other ability we are taking with this build is the Flame Wall, which will do a flame wall in front of you for 135 seconds. We take an upgrade 1, so it now lasts 3 seconds longer, and upgrade 2 to increase the width of it by 30%. Okay, so let's go find some enemies. So we're going to get our flame weapon going, and you can see the damage we can pump out. Now let's do our tornadoes. Just like that, you'll see the explosions happening as they come near us, and you see we have the increased damage against the burning enemies. If we just do that, you can see we can heal through the damage we're taking there, as I miss my jump. So if we take out these enemies here, you can see our burn is actually spreading. And you see we healed up slightly there. Now unfortunately we are on fire, so let's just nullify some of that. And again, we'll get our fire going, go through the enemy, and you see we healed 5% of our missing health there. And the same with there. So this is a very viable build for just surviving. Obviously, if you set yourself or enemies set you on fire, you are going to take extra damage. But getting the burn on enemies being able to damage people in front and behind you is just so helpful. You can see how much fire damage we are doing here. And of course, we still have our other ability, get our flame going. We can do a little explosion there to get all that going. Just so many awesome things to help you get through the game. So I really hope you have enjoyed this build for the Flameweaver. This will take you from the start of the game into New Game Plus, so you're ready to dominate that as well. If you have, let me know what your favourite class of Mandragora is, and let me know if you even played the game. It is a Souls-like, and it is phenomenal as a platformer, so if you haven't already, please check it out. Regardless, I really hope you have enjoyed. If you have, please drop this a like, it helps me tremendously, and subscribe to the channel for more guides to things like Baldur's Gate, Dragon Age, Elden Ring, Mandragora, Wu Chang Fallen Feather, Expedition 33, or the amazing RPGs you could ever need. And hopefully I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.